I had three albums for you guys that you totally forgot about from 1988, and one of them could even rival Appetite for Destruction from Guns N' Roses. Let's get to it.
I am Jason Myers from the band Icarus Witch, and you are listening to the Krash Kourse Metal Show, featuring Trevor Krash Knight, the next generation's voice of classic heavy metal.
So first and foremost, we are going to be going to 1988's, obviously, Quiet Riot, self-titled or just named QR. Now, on this album here, it is a big departure from your usual Quiet Riot, because you do have Paul Sorrentino on vocals, which he did come over from Rough Cut, the band. You also have the same coming from guitars, Carlos Cavazo, which obviously he is an original from Quiet Riot. And then obviously Frankie Benelli on drums. And then you have a new guy as well here, Sean McNabb on bass. But this album never really did much at all. It did reach number 119 in the top 200 Billboard charts. But my gosh, this is an album that seriously does get overlooked and just not talked about nearly enough. I have no idea why. I was looking into a couple of just like some reviews and such, and just like what stuff that I can find of what people don't like about it or even do like about it. So one of the reviews that I was looking at on this album, they were saying that Paul Sorrentino does not have like the charisma of Kevin DuBrow.
You a crap!
Obviously, like, I like Kevin. He's awesome for what he is. But are you fucking kidding me? Like, if you listen to Paul in Rough Cut or Quiet Riot here or anything, like, it sounds amazing on this record here. Are you listening to Stay With Me Tonight, or, you know, one of the ballads, Run to You, Don't Want to Be Your Fool? Like, obviously this guy has not listened to this album if he's saying that. Like,
Those motherfuckers!
Like, I don't get that at all. I get the total opposite feel from this album from Paul. But another thing to be said to Carlos on guitar. Great tone throughout this album. Great solos. He's just belting it out on, Stay With Me Tonight, which is the opening track here and was one of the video singles as well. Amazing song. Like I said on The Vein, our 1989 video, when we talked about Vain No Respect, like how I said that was like a sexy album. This is a sexy song. Certainly is Stay With Me Tonight. It's absolutely amazing. Like, I could play this like on a slower playlist. I could play this on the party playlist. It's a slower song, but certainly fills the void. It goes in a lot of it can go in a lot of different playlists and a lot of different fields for what the usage could be for the song. Awesome stuff. Probably one of my favorite Quiet Riot songs altogether. And then you got other songs. Now, I will say one of the negative that I can understand from someone if they would say, hey, this album kind of sounds like 1988 as far as like production wise and stuff like that. But all in all, you got 11 tracks here. And you got Calling the Shots, the second track. Run to You, like I said, is one of the ballads. Really good stuff there. Then you got I'm Falling Fine. The Joker, is really good as well. It's a fun, different song. It's certainly different. The lyrics are now some of these lyrics are pretty tongue in cheek, and some are fun and such like that. It's good shit here. Track number 8, "Don't Want to Be Your Fool." Oh my god, awesome ballad. Certainly, I would probably say a top 25 ballad for me of all time. Probably, just going off the top of my head, because I never did do a like a top 50 or top 25 ballad. Hell, I don't even have like a top 25 list of just regular songs that I love. Just because it changes so much, and like there's so much to love out there. It's all really good stuff. And then you got "Cop in a Feel," another fun song there. But like I said, you do have 11 tracks. But I would say that they could have probably threw maybe 1 or 2 off, and it would have been a lot stronger there. But I don't know. For me, this album certainly gets overlooked for some reason. I don't know if it's just because it's not Kevin on vocals, what the deal is. Then obviously we do get after this, Quiet Riot didn't release anything until 1993, but Frankie Banali did go on to do other projects, including Heavy Bones, which we did talk about in our 1992 series, part 2, I believe. I will put the link to that in the description as well. Oh my gosh. But this album, though, I have no idea why it just did not do very well. I don't know. The only guess that I could come up with is just no Kevin, no Quiet Riot. I don't know at all. But this is certainly worth checking out, especially if you like some good guitar work and just that 80, certainly if you like that 80s sound, that production sound as well. Like, to me, I don't see it as a negative, but I know there are people probably out there that are like, this sounds too much like 1988. Doesn't sound, it certainly sounds dated. I could hear that argument, but I don't see that as a negative in my view. It's the 2 songs you absolutely have to check out, though, is "Stay With Me Tonight" and also "Don't Want to Be Your Fool" is an amazing ballad. And this album, you can find this album on like Apple Music, Spotify, and what's the other one? Apple Music, Amazon, and Spotify. You can find it on all 3 of those if you are the digital kind of guy, because it can be kind of hard to find physically. So that is 1988's Quiet Riot's QR, or self-titled. All right, so our second pick for 1988 is going to be
Here comes 2.
Jet Boy, "Feel the Shake." Now, you can also find this album, "Feel the Shake," on Apple Music, Amazon, and Spotify. So this is Jet Boy's debut album here. And obviously, leading off, you have "Feel the Shake." Really good. It was the Flyers, Philadelphia Flyers hockey team's one like score song. So like whenever they scored a goal, they played "Feel the Shake" from like they did it for like about 3 years, which I think they stopped now. But that would be awesome as hell to hear "Feel the Shake" in just a sport arena. That would be awesome, an awesome experience. But so with Jet Boy, though, you do get a more hard rock, bluesy, some rockabilly traces, and also some people say some punk traces, but I don't really hear that too much. I do hear it more with "Feel the Shake" than, say, their next album, Damnation. But I don't think that it's very like overpowering or anything like that as far as like the punk influences and stuff. But like you do have blues here, like "Hometown Blues" is like a straight blues song basically, and really good. They do the blues really good, and obviously, as you like, I would probably take the Damnation, the second album, over this, but still, this is really good. You have 10 total tracks, which is a very good sweet spot there. You have Make Noise, Bad Disease, Fire My Heart, all fun, light-hearted songs. Now, I will say this is more like, you could tell this is a debut album, especially when you go to their second album. You do hear some growth in the lyrics, you do hear some growth just in the musical style, the deliveries and such like that. But for what this is, though, very fun, very, like, the potential is great here. And like I said, you got track number 5, Hometown Blues, very awesome song, very good blues. Locked in the Cage, Talking, Hard Climb, Bloodstone, and then you finish off with Snake Bit. All of these songs are on the iPod. Whenever I play this album, everything gets played, no problems, no skips at all. You don't really get a ballad here, which is very interesting. Because you do get a ballad on the second album, Damnation, which is a really good ballad though too in its own right. But it's really good. I don't get what people don't like about Jet Boy, or how they didn't really even get any bigger. Because Mickey, the vocalist, is very, very good. Now, he's not going to blow you away. He's not like Steelheart or, like Michael Sweet or anything like that. But very good, very good. Doesn't hurt the ears in any way, shape, or form. So, you get great solos. You get just great all around. Like, they mesh a good amount of different type subgenres, like I said, into their music. So that keeps a decent variety, which I think I'm going to keep going to Damnation, but you hear that a lot in that album too, and just really well perfected in that album. But this Feel the Shake, just like I said, the title track, absolutely amazing song, really good stuff. It's just a shame that these boys didn't really get much bigger, and I don't even know if it, I think Feel the Shake, it did reach 135 in the 200 Billboard charts. So it had a little bit of a run there, but I don't think it obviously did not certify anything like that, sadly. Well, you have to check out at least Feel the Shake, the title track. At least check that out. And then the other one, if you like blues, if you like more of the blues type metal and blues rock, I would say Hometown Blues is a really good one to check out there as well. And Bad Disease is fun. Bloodstone's fun. Snake Bit's fun. You can't go wrong here with this album. If you want a good time album, pop this on, and you will no doubt have a soundtrack for a Saturday night. No doubt about that. And that's what we all want here at the end of the day in the glam, hair metal, and sleaze metal subgenre. At the end of the day, it's just a good soundtrack to party to and have fun with the weekend. And that's what it is. That's what's great about it. That's what's great about the sleaze and the hair metal and stuff like that. It's everyone's on a level playing field when the weekend comes around, and we're all having fun. And at the end of the day, that's what this whole genre should be about. So that is Jet Boy, guys. Feel the Shake. Check that out. Alrighty, so it is one of my favorites from 1988 in general. But it has so much potential, but they only had one album as a band. So that is going to be, obviously, Roxx Gang, Things You Never Done Before.
Hell yes.
Roxx Gang from Florida, but obviously here, as you can see, Robbie Strine lives like a couple minutes away from me, and I seen him at a show, and I did not realize it was Robbie until one of the owners of the bar mentioned to me, "Hey, you know who Roxx Gang is?" And that's Robbie, and I was like, "Oh shit!" He was in a band playing bass, obviously, and it was just awesome to talked to him about Roxx Gang and such, and then I just seen him the other day. We were talking some things, but certainly I had this album since high school, so I'm not playing favoritism or anything like that. But this was always one I played. I love this album. I even love the albums that they did after this when they broke up and Kevin ended up putting out other stuff. Basically, like not with pretty much none of the original guys from this album, and that is Voodoo You Love. The album came out in what 94 or 5, somewhere around there. But so you have here, this is the album I was talking about, and bands that I said in the intro about. They could have rivaled. This album could have rivaled Appetite for Destruction.
Are you mental?
Now it did come out about like 6 months later than Appetite, I believe, because I just off the top of your head, this is 88 and Appetite is 87. But when I was looking at the last time I looked at dates, it was only like 6 months different. And obviously, if you can tell, like just by looking here at the album, and I'll show videos and pictures here in the video as well, they had that sleazy look. If someone says to me, what band started sleaze metal or was a real prototypical type band of sleaze metal, I would throw Roxx Gang right up there. If not, obviously Guns N' Roses, you could argue, did start, or like their album was released before Roxx Gang here, the debuts anyway. And I will throw Roxx Gang's hat in the ring there. I'll pretty much defend Roxx Gang here, because like if you listen to this album, it's like 2-3 years ahead of its time as far as like the sleaze goes. And then obviously everyone knows Appetite for Destruction and such. But let's jump into this album real quick, and we can kind of discuss that as we go along. Scratch My Back, lead off. It was a music video as well. Good. It's catchy. Really catchy. No Easy Way Out was like probably the biggest single off of this album. They had a video for that as well. Really good. But I don't know if it was, I don't honestly know if it was the lead single or not. But I don't know if I would have chose this as a lead single just because of the tempo of the song. It's a great song, but I just don't know as far as tempo goes. And that's another thing too, because we are getting to some of the songs. There's 2 songs on here, and I believe there is 10 tracks. They did end up releasing on Paris Records, I believe, like somewhat, I guess it's technically a demo from 87, Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, and they had songs on there like The Jungle and Take It Off. If you would have switched those 2 songs out off of that demo onto this album instead of, say, Race with the Devil and Too Cool for School, this album, I would certainly say I would enjoy it way more than Appetite for Destruction, which, don't get me wrong, I like Appetite for Destruction. I played the hell out of that album in high school as well. Really good. But for me, I think with this album, because like I said, the weak track here is probably Too Cool for School or Race with the Devil. That is probably the 2 of the weakest songs here. So if you would switch those out for The Jungle, Take It Off, it would have been totally a different outcome, and history might have been changed, because they certainly might not have been on the Forgotten Albums list here. And it's just crazy to think about that. And then you move on here, Red Rose, the 4th track. Amazing song. I guess you could technically say it's maybe ballad-ish, maybe. I don't know. I would argue for both ways. If someone says it's not a ballad, I could agree with it. If someone says it is a ballad, I'll be like, okay, I can see it. But it's very, very good nonetheless. Awesome song. And that's the thing. Most of these songs now, very well written, very well done. Just great musicianship all the way around with this band, all the way around. And that was some of the stories that Robbie was telling me, like, uh, the band as a whole was really good, and like guitar playing was top notch. And then even afterward, even when the band even kind of like broke up in '91, they brought in Stacy Blades, guitar player. He is in a whole slew of different projects, and he was ended up being the guitar player for the second album, then the Voodoo You Love, and awesome guitar player there as well. So they had a chance here, but I don't know. There was a lot of infighting, a lot of business type decisions and business drama and stuff like that that really uh held this band back, sadly. So that sucks in and of itself. And then you got Ball and Chain, another really good song. I love that song. Uh Nine Lives is good. And then you finish off with Need Your Sex. Good stuff, man. It's awesome. 1988. And this is like, very prototypical, or maybe the first sleaze metal album. I mean, I know a lot of people will say Appetite for Destruction. Can't argue that. But like I said, their demo did come out in 87, to Love 'Em and Leave 'Em. So I don't know. That's one that we're gonna have to really dive deep into and get a real answer. Like, which one really did come? Who was kind of first here? That's a really good question. We might have to do a deep dive, an X file, if you will, on that. And that'll be fun nonetheless. But guys, check out Roxx Gang. Great guitar work all the way around. Great musicianship, great songs. It's just a shame.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
The infighting, the business side of things just really cut the legs out from underneath this, because it did sell 250,000 copies as well, which is very, very crazy to think about, because there's not like I said, some of the music video singles, like, no one ever really talks about, no one shows. No, I mean, they're kind of even hard to find on YouTube somewhat. I mean, it's crazy to think about that. And it still sold 250,000 copies. And then, although at the same time, I will throw this out there, it is produced by Beau Hill. So we all know Beau Hill does some great producing throughout the 80s for these type of bands and such. And man, it's just a shame. It really is, because here on Virgin Records, but very good band. And shout out to Robbie as well. Nice guy. If you guys ever get a chance to meet him or see him play or whatever, awesome dude. Talk to you about music, about Roxx Gang. Awesome dude. So that is going to be the 3 picks for now. Anyway, the 3 picks for 1988's forgotten albums that you forgot about, the whole 9 yards. So to recap here, we have the debut, Things You Never Done Before by Roxx Gang. That is one that certainly is overlooked, no doubt about that. And then you got here Jet Boy, Feel the Shake. What can you say? When you listen to Jet Boy, just put a smile on your face. Awesome stuff. And then we have the seriously, I don't even know what you want to say for this. Just pushed in the corner, I guess, for Quiet Riot, just because maybe Kevin DeBro isn't there. I don't know. I don't have an answer for this. If you guys have an answer for why QR here just never really hit the ground running, maybe if they would have changed their name, maybe it would have been a little bit better. I don't know. But Carlos is great on this album. Frankie's great. Paul's great. Everyone is great on this album, all the way around. So check that out as well. But guys, that is 1988 part 1 of forgotten albums. We will have some more here for you, but let us know what is forgotten that you think is forgotten. And I mean, there's plenty of albums, because like at the end of the day, we always hear about the same like 10 albums from every year, and that gets old, that gets boring. We want, there's certainly great albums all throughout, the 80s and early 90s and stuff like that. So certainly let me know in the comments what you guys think of these 3, and also if you have one that you want to share with us, And until next time, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Stay out of that collateral damage, and we will see you guys later.
Yeah, I wrote that. It's called I Want to Rock Your Body. And then in parentheses it says to the break of dawn.